right into it. I want to talk about drugs. Anyone likes drugs here? A lot of giggles, That's a good sign. Personally, I like to do cocaine. I know, it's not really what you expected, right? I don't really look like someone who does cocaine, but you know, I do it in my own way, okay? Like, I'm a 31-year-old introvert, so when I do coke, I'll do a few lines on a Saturday night and just curl up with a good book. Just fucking speed read through Pride and Prejudice. Like, I have 200 pages to get through before book club tomorrow, okay? Break out that blow. Any weed smokers in here? Oh, okay. There's more than one, but all right. I did a comedy show last week where all the comics had to get high. It was at a dispensary, and I know, already like stuff made of nightmares. And they gathered all the comics before, and they told us that we were all gonna do a dab. And you guys know what a dab is? Yeah, I did not. And the dispensary employee was just like, oh, you've never done a dab before? Here, I'll give you a baby one. That doesn't exist. It's all the same concentrate. It's all like 10 times stronger than regular weed. But I just took a puff, like all proud of myself, blew out some smoke. And then the dispensary employee was like, go ahead, finish it off. And that was my mistake. Because now I've gone from doing 0 dabs in my entire life to 2 dabs in 10 seconds right before I had to go on stage. I was so high. I was like out of my mind, on another planet. The show started, I'm like sitting there in the back just watching it. And like, I was just so high that I thought I was at home watching Netflix. Like, I just thought there was some new comedy special on, until the host was like, and your next comic is Sara DeForest, and I was like, oh, no. Like, can you imagine? Like, I just dragged myself on stage, and like, every joke I'd ever written was just like, nope, don't remember that. I was like staring into the bright lights, just like wondering, how am I gonna get home tonight? Like just holding on to the mic stand for dear life. But guys, I have to say, I somehow pulled it off. I'm like a stoner Seinfeld. Like, everything I was saying was just hitting. It was like one of the best shows of my comedy career. It might have helped that the audience was also high, but I'm not gonna, yeah, that's still a win for me. Let's see, I went to brunch last week. I mean, obviously, look at me. And I didn't need to tell you that. And the restaurant, it was one of those places that like tries to be cute on their menu. Like all the different food items have like cutesy names. Like there was something on the menu called the Benedict Cumberbatch. And like, if you're at a brunch restaurant and you see something on the menu called the Benedict Cumberbatch, like, what do you think that would be? It's Benedict, right? No, at this restaurant, it was a cucumber sandwich. They took the cumber from Cumberbatch and thought that was the real pun opportunity. Like, and as a comedian and a copywriter by day, like, that is my hell. Like, get me the fuck out of that place. Let's see, is anyone here born and raised in LA? Oh, wow, yeah, good number of people. How about, I just have to ask, is anyone from Reno? Okay, good. Reno's an odd place. I don't know if you guys knew this, but they have this new tourism campaign, and the slogan is, "Welcome to Selfie Town." Like, that's as if the city is just publicly admitting that there is nothing photogenic here. Just turn your camera around. Welcome to Selfie Town. Maybe it's more of a PSA, you know? Like, if you're in Reno, take a hard look at yourself. What went wrong here? My brother's wife is Asian. Thank you. And now I have this dream that if I marry a black guy, then together the four of us would make the perfect stock photo. Right? Think about it. Redhead, Asian, black guy. We would run this town. We would book every college brochure. We'd be in corporate PowerPoint slides, gathered around the conference table looking at graphs, laughing despite our differences. You could just throw in a lesbian and a guy in a wheelchair. We could make a reboot of Degrassi. That's the reboot we want, right? I turned 31 this year, and no, you're right. It's not a very exciting age. I feel like when you're in your 30s, your body kind of changes, like right? Like it's almost like you're going through puberty all over again. But it's not any of the fun stuff. It's not like, oh, my boobs are getting bigger and I want to masturbate all the time. It's more like, ugh, I can't sleep past 7 a.m. and every time I laugh, I pee a little. Very unpleasant. Let's see. I did get engaged this year, though. Yeah, thank you. Too kind. Yeah. No, people always get excited when I say that, but you know, when you're in your 30s and you've been with someone for a long time, like getting engaged isn't that big a deal, you know? It's just sort of the natural progression of things, you know? Like you take all these steps, right? Like you move in together, you talk about getting married, you go to the jewelry store and look at rings. Nothing happens for the next year, so you bring it up again. Your friend tells you that you should give him a deadline, so you send him a Google Calendar invite. You pick out the ring yourself, and eventually he proposes to you in the back of the DMV parking lot. It's just the natural progression of things, you know? You can't force it. I do feel really lucky, though. My fiancé is a great guy. He used to be fat, which is kind of cute, you know, like. And you can totally tell because his clothes are too big for him and he doesn't like to look at old pictures of himself. But it's actually great for me because he has no portion control when he eats me out.